Let's have our next featured storyteller, because we've been making her wait way too long. Our next featured storyteller is Jay Crisp Crow, and Jay is not new to Stories from the Heart. She told a story probably about a year and a bit ago here at Lazy Susan's, and Jay is also one of the 16 authors that's in the Stories from the Heart book. Jay lives in the hills. She's an amazing writer, and today we get to hear one of her stories. It makes a change for Jay to be the other side of the computer and out in front of an audience, but she's certainly no stranger to performing on stage. So Jay's story is called What If I Could Be Both? Please welcome Jay Crisp Crow.
What if Jay forgets her entire story? No, that's not happened. So I don't know if you noticed as I walked up here, and maybe you didn't. Maybe you thought, I know that girl from the interwebs. Or, look, there's Jay. She washed her hair and she got out of her pyjama-like writing clothes. Or, that is the most fly jumpsuit I have ever seen, and you would be right. Wish Pillay was here. And maybe you won't notice till after. Maybe you'll go home and someone will say, who was the most awkward speaker at that live storytelling thing you went to? And this is how you'll classify me. Because I don't know if you've realised yet, but I'm kind of fat. So, awkward. You're not supposed to talk about it, right? You're not supposed to point it out. It's not like I have two different coloured eyes or I have an extra finger that I can go, look at my weird and quirky thing, and you can all go, ooh. No, and so why would I point it out to you? I'll tell you why. Fat is one of the weaknesses that you can notice about somebody straight up. And I have been avoiding it my entire life, pretending that maybe I'm not. From the time that I have been 11, I have been avoiding being fat, trying not to be fat, because fat is disgusting and fat is lazy and fat is not clever, fat is not smart, fat is not successful, fat is not sexy or beautiful. I have been an active enemy of fat my entire life, and I've been trying to be all of those things perfectly polished, very, very prepared, in the case that maybe you will realise or not notice that I am. And this one word has had so much impact over my entire life that even when I hear other people talking about it, I have a physical reaction. If they talk about their dress size, if they talk about how much they ate today, it doesn't really matter. It affects me physically. So my what if story is not about what if I wasn't fat. My what if story is a little bit different because I have a double door fridge and both of those doors have mirrors on it. It's crazy. And it's where everybody in my house, once they get ready, goes and kind of checks themselves out and makes sure that they're all right. And so the amount of times that I have stood in front of that fridge and bemoaned the fact that I am so fat, if I just had $1 for every time I did it, that fridge would pay me back for itself. So my what if story on my what if day goes that I'm standing in front of the fridge in my 14th outfit and I'm saying, oh my God, I'm so fat. And my husband, God bless him, comes up behind me and he plants one of those kisses on my neck, you know, the ones that make you realise why you married them in the first place. And he says this, you're not fat, you're beautiful. Which is the exact wrong thing to say because, dude, I have eyes, and if you are lying about the me not being fat thing, then you're probably also lying about all the other nice things that you say about me. So my son, so I'm wailing in front of the fridge, and my son walks past, and he's right in between that age of childhood and man, and he's all angles and abs and swagger, and he's kind of like swaggering past the kitchen, and he says to me, for God's sake, Mum, because we take the Lord's name in vain a lot in our house. For God's sake, Mum, why can't you be both? And as the much maligned God is my witness, I had never even considered it. I had never considered that I could be both. What if I was both fat and beautiful? What if I was both fat and sexy, fat and smart, fat and successful, fat and fly, fat and fierce? And this one word that has had such a hold over me my entire life ceased to be anything more than a describing word. So that is my what if story. It's not what if I wasn't fat, because that's like asking what if the sky's not blue, or what if I don't have children? What if I'm married to Jason Momoa? That's not my what if story. And this is not a story of body positivity. It's not a story that glorifies obesity like some charmer on the internet said last week. This is not even fat activism, although maybe it is, because maybe thinking that you can be both fat and beautiful is radical. This is just my what if story. What if I am both fat and beautiful? What if I am both?